But yeah, so we're talking about another release this year in 2020, more recent than the way back. This one came out, I think, a couple weeks ago, actually, June 12th. Yeah, a couple weeks ago. And we're talking about The King of Staten Island. So this film is about a sort of biography on Pete Davidson's life. If you don't know who Pete Davidson is, he's on Saturday Night Live. He's a pretty famous comedian. He's in that Big Time Adolescence movie that I thought Big Time Adolescence was pretty much going to be like this movie. So this film is what I wanted Big Time Adolescence to be. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a spoiler for my rating. But yeah, so I was anticipating this one for a while. It's about just a guy named Scott, lives with his mom, and his father, died when he was a young boy, and he was a fireman. And pretty much what Pete Davidson, was. His own father died when he was 7. He was a fireman who died on 9/11. So yeah, that's so it's pretty much. I saw an interview with Pete, and he said this is pretty much 75% my life, and the other 25% is just movie. But he also says, like, if I didn't find comedy, this is pretty much what my life would be. So just living at home and doing, like, hanging out with the boys, smoking weed, and doing stupid shit, basically. So, and then that's pretty much what this film's about. And it's about Pete Davidson's character Scott, developing. And yeah, so this film. It's a comedy and also a drama. It's those dramedies. It's also directed and written by Judd Apatow. It's also written by Pete Davidson as well as also a guy named Dave Cyrus. Don't know who that is, but Judd Apatow is kind of known for these dramedies or more comedy as well. He's a big comedy writer and director. Really talented guy, and I think Pete Davidson's a really talented comedian. So yeah, again, this is a little bit more of a personal story. This is a personal story to Pete, but also kind of a personal story for me as well. It's pretty much almost a big reason why I love Pete Davidson is because I know what it's like to lose your father, unexpectedly and as a young kid. I mean, I lost mine when I was 14. He lost his when I was 7, so it's a little bit different. But yeah. So I mean, again, plus I think Pete's hilarious. I think he's a really great comedian. He's a talented comedian, and I really like him. But yeah. So you can see why I was really anticipating this one because this was based off of his life. Yeah. So it kind of set the expectations high for this one. And, that's not always a good thing to do. But I think this film pretty much met those expectations in the most part. So let's just get into why, what I think this film really does right. I love the way the film opens and closes, both with Kid Cudi tracks. I think it's so perfect, mainly because Cudi is one of my favorite hip-hop artists ever, but also he was a very big pioneer in, kind of promoting and talking about mental health in, rap music. He was kind of those pioneers. It's pretty much birthed an entire wave of sad rap music. So yeah, both tracks are amazing at the very beginning. They're playing Just What I Am, which is a perfect track about kind of like accepting who you are and your self-destructive tendencies, and that's pretty much what was going on with Scott's Pete Davidson's character in the beginning of this film, and at the very end it ends with Kid Cudi's Pursuit of Happiness, which is just again a perfect send off to the film and a perfect it encapsulates what Pete's character transformed into at the end of the film, which I thought was it's just a perfect fucking way to end the movie. 2 amazing Cudi tracks. Highly recommend listening to Kid Cudi if you haven't. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of him because he's a pretty big rap artist, but highly recommend it. Checking him out. But I think also the film just blends elements of drama and comedy perfectly well. I mean, these types of comedies definitely appeal to me a lot more than just straight up slapstick comedies. I mean, I love Ace Ventura, I love Monty Python, but Paul Blart Mall Cop and like Grown Ups, not really. I kind of hate those. But I mean, again, I'm a huge fan of the dramedy genre, like your 50/50s, your 500 Days of Summer. That's more of like a romantic comedy or anything. But in like this one, King of Staten Island, it's drama, it deals with, heavy emotional topics, also with it being fucking hilarious. And some of the laughs here, I was dying. I thought it was really funny. And again, also moments where you're like, oh man, that's really, sorry, I'm burping. Some really touching moments as well. This is Pete Davidson's best performance for sure in a film, and I know he doesn't have too many acting performances in film, but this is clearly his best one. I mean, obviously it should be. It's his most personal one. You can definitely tell it's very personal, and but like he's also still Pete Davidson. He's also still really funny. He's the funniest part about it, and he's also the most emotional part about it as well. So definitely gives the best performance. Bill Burr has an incredible performance as Pete Davidson's character's mother's new boyfriend. Bill Burr is spectacular in this one. He's hilarious. He's great. I love Bill Burr in this movie. It was a really impressive performance. I know Bill Burr acts, from Breaking Bad, and he was in The Mandalorian, which was kind of weird. But yeah, this one was really great. I think this one was probably his best performance in a film as well. He did a really phenomenal job. I mean, he was perfectly cast as Pete Davidson's mom's boyfriend. Marissa Tomei actually plays Pete Davidson's mom, and she does a fucking phenomenal job as well. All the acting really is great. All the performances, are phenomenal. His friends, his like romantic interest, his sister, Judd Apatow's daughter, she does a really great job. Steve Buscemi has like a little bit of a small role. He's great. I love seeing Steve Buscemi. I'm a huge fan of him. And also, he was actually a firefighter before he was an actor too, which was a really cool fact that I found out about this film. I just think the theme throughout the film of tackling your past and kind of confronting it head on and how that helps you develop as a person was really great to see, and I thought that was a really awesome thing. I mean, just confronting your father's death and knowing more stuff about your father, not just the good stuff but some of the bad stuff as well, and just really knowing who he was as a person was really cool to see. Helps you, move on and develop as a person, which I thought was really great. And I feel like just how the film tackles how Pete deals with confronting his past was really great, and like how that affects him as a person, how he becomes a better person, and just seeing that personal growth through the film was just really touching to me, because that's just kind of how I feel like I've done with my life. And I thought that was really cool, and it was really inspiration to see someone like me do that as well. I thought that was really cool. But again, that personal element probably makes me a little bit biased to this film. So, I mean, the film, again, has some flaws. I mean, Pete's character is pretty fucking unlikable at the very beginning, and that can turn off some people, and like, this fucking dickhead, and fuck this guy. Also, it's kind of hard to connect with him at the very beginning, but I mean, again, if you just stick with the film, you understand why he's a fucking dickhead. And how he develops as a person, which is really cool to see. I mean, seeing character development is just a primary reason what keeps people invested. And the film understands that. The film again also is pretty long. It clocks in at 2 hours and 16 minutes. I was fine with it. Movie length doesn't really bother me too much. If I'm invested and I'm interested, doesn't bother me. Like, I love Blade Runner 2049. That thing almost clocks in at 3 fucking hours. But again, The Irishman, I would argue, is a little fucking too fucking long. But so this one, I could see maybe 10 minutes probably cut off, 10, 15 minutes cut out. But I mean, again, that may bother some. Didn't bother me at all, really. But again, the length is there, it might bother some. And also the film is a bit cliche, having the personal growth and developing to something nice. But I mean, again, like I said with The Way Back, just because it's cliche doesn't mean it's bad, as long as it does the cliche well. And I think The King of Staten Island does the cliche really well. So I believe this film was really great. And so does it have the movie magic though? Does it got the movie magic, Mikey's movie magic? I didn't do that for The Way Back because it doesn't have the movie magic, but this one clearly does. I mean, by the way I'm talking about it. Again, the length issues, maybe not connecting personally with the character might hold the film back for you. I mean, my personal experience in life definitely helps me enjoy this film probably a little bit more than other people would. But that's kind of what I was talking about, Big Time Adolescence and The Way Back. Like, if you don't have that personal connection with the film, maybe your opinion of the film goes down a little bit. Kind of for here, this film might be kind of like those for other people if you don't have that personal connection. But I still think this film is a lot better structured and well made than those two films, in my opinion. So I still think this one's better than those. That's why I'm giving it. It definitely has the movie magic for me. So yeah, if you're a fan of Pete Davidson, definitely check this one out. If you're a fan of Judd Apatow's films, check this one out. If you like dramedies, check it out. It's definitely really good. If you like humbling stories about people developing and confronting their past and their family issues, definitely check this one out. It's a really great story. I really liked it a lot. Plus, it's funny. Who doesn't like laughing? So, yeah, The King of Staten Island, check it out. Hello, thanks for watching that clip of my episode of Nerd Out Sanctuary. I appreciate you watching. If you don't know, this is a video podcast about, movies, TV, video games, other types of entertainment, comic books, novels, maybe occasionally. I don't know, I don't really read that much, but when I do, I want to talk about it. So yeah, just know that there's a lot more of these, and I appreciate you if you give me a like and subscribe and watch more. If you're just if you're watching here on YouTube, know that this is also a podcast, an audio podcast. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Play, so you can download my podcast episodes, listen to them while you're driving in the car, taking a shit, making dinner, doing your laundry, or whatever, when you're at work, when you're supposed to be working, but you're just kind of like, mindless, doing some mindless tasks while listening to my podcast. It's the shit. Hopefully you guys, get good recommendations out of me, and hope you guys keep enjoying my show. So yeah, thanks. And bye.